Hi, Joshua here with Truth and Mercy Baptist Ministries. Did Jehoiachin begin to reign when he was 18 years old or when he was 8 years old? 2 Kings 24:8 says he began to reign when he was 18 and reigned only 3 months, but 2 Chronicles 36:9 says he was 8 years old and reigned 3 months. So which is it, 18 or 8? This is a favorite, of course, among so-called Bible critics who like to contradict the Bible. They say this is a Bible contradiction, but of course the King James Bible has no errors, no contradictions, and we can trust in it as being God's perfectly preserved word. In fact, there's a couple possible explanations for this so-called contradiction. Let's read the passages and go into both of these explanations. The first passage is 2 Kings 24, and verse 8 says, Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. And his mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. The second passage, 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 9 says, Jehoiachin was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. So, which is it? Well, there's actually, like I said, two possible explanations here, and the first one, which I think makes the most sense, is that in the Old Testament, in monarchies, and during that time, it was very common for a king to appoint one of his sons, usually his favorite son or the son of his favorite wife, or his firstborn. He would appoint him co-regent or co-king while he was still alive. This would assure that that son would be the king after his death. So it would help to prevent civil war and fighting among the family, to go ahead and just pre-appoint the king while he was still alive. So when he died, that co-regent son would be in place already to then take over completely and ascend to the throne as sole monarch. An example of this is seen in the life of David. In 1 Kings 1 and 2, David, and in his dying days, calls Solomon in and has the high priest and Nathan the prophet anoint him as the next king. He reigns as king from that moment, but David is still the ultimate king of Israel while he lives. So David is still king, but Solomon is co-king or co-regent. So 2 Kings 24 could well be referring to Jehoiachin as ascending to the throne as sole monarch at age 18, while 2 Chronicles 36:9 is merely referring to his being appointed the co-regent or co-king with his father at the earlier age of 8. So his father must have lived another 10 years. The second solution that some suggest would be that he ruled jointly with his queen mother until age 18. When Jehoiachin was 8 years old, his father Jehoiakim was deported, according to 2 Chronicles 36, verse 6. So this may be why 2 Chronicles refers to him as being 8 years old when he began to reign, because he was reigning with his mother. The reason this may be is that women were not necessarily listed in the historical record of rulers. Even though the king was very young, 8 years old, and the queen was probably making the decisions for him, the official record may have named Jehoiachin as the king at 8 years old. But there's a bit of a problem with this view. The biblical narrative would more than likely be specific about this kind of thing. It does, after all, refer to Queen Athaliah in 2 Kings 11. If there were a joint rulership between Jehoiachin and his mother between the ages of 8 and 18, and she was really the one calling the shots, it would seem likely that the Bible would have said this, or at least indicated it in some way. Now, some do point to Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 8, as speaking of the coming deportation of the king and queen, and it's referring to Jehoiachin. But who's the queen? Is that his mother? Well, the Bible doesn't say this. It could well be that this queen is his wife, and it's probable that that's the case, but it's possible that he was co-reigning with his mother between 8 and 18. But this explanation is problematic. So I think that the most likely explanation for this so-called Bible contradiction is that Jehoiachin began reigning at 8 as co-regent or co-king, and that he ascended to the throne upon the death of his father at age 18 as the sole monarch of Israel. So tell me what you think about this explanation for this so-called Bible contradiction. Is there another explanation you think is better? What other contradictions would you like to see us discuss? Feel free to share that in the comments below, and thank you for joining us. God bless.